mouth on that one. Big up your nose and everything, too. Yeah. We live on both of them.
We live on both?
I'm live. Alright.
That one needs to be turned, pushed back just a little bit from the right side. No. Just the camera itself. Okay. Sit down. I think.
Oh, actually, no. It don't look like you can see me, but when you
yeah, like it.
Yeah.
That was much better.
Huh?
That was much better. This one here is much better.
You don't like them, Steve?
Yeah, I want to see it. You might have to.
Well, see, you can't hardly see me because of the lens. So when you actually watch the video, I'll be in it.
Yeah, but you look right up on it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get back. Yeah, I'm ready. So I need to let them see that, yeah.
And we actually live, so.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, that's the other thing, too, right? That's what makes us so unique.
That what makes us unique.
We're raw.
They just don't know we playing this.
Yeah. And I got to do my DJ thing. Yeah. You want a freestyle in there? You good? Okay. Alright. Yeah. It's fine. And we're live. Alright.
Welcome back to the Real Spill Podcast. We're coming to you live from the Spill Cup Studios.
Yeah.
I never said where we're from, but yeah. But we
no, you don't need to.
Nah.
You did good. Yeah, live from the Spill Cup Studios.
That's what we are.
It's a privilege if they can come and see the Spill Cup Studios.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, it's really nice. But it'd be nice though if y'all come by though. If you want to see where we are, hit us up if you want to be a guest.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Or a live audience. We'll take a live audience.
My pastor is preaching about great expectations. And this is our second studio.
Yeah.
But this ain't the end.
No, we're gonna do bigger and better. I gotta check my lottery numbers, but if they pan out, man, we're gonna be heading to some big things, man.
Oh, yeah.
Big things,
Cause we got great expectations.
Oh yeah, we believe. Yeah, we believe it's over here.
And your pastor preached about what now?
Well, today.
Shout out to.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Pastor Mike, the Rock. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they do over there and for the community, we appreciate y'all. But yeah, the theme this year is being strong.
Being strong.
Yeah, so, I used to say that all the time. I think he stole it from me.
Yeah.
But, that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. So when I talk to him, I'm like, hey, be strong.
Be
Remember
strong.
I told you that too?
Yeah.
I said, be strong. And I like that, though. I
do too.
Because sometimes it takes a little more than just, reading the Bible and practicing the Word. That's all great and everything. But sometimes you got to have that strength,
You always got to have that
Right.
Yeah.
To endure, what comes your way. So, yeah, we just trying to tell everybody to be strong. He said it a little more eloquently than I did, but you get the picture though.
Yeah.
We getting off subject too.
And mine, we way off subject, man. But shout out to the Reverend Dave W. Craig, Mount Pure Missionary Baptist Church, Fairfield, Alabama.
Yeah, Fairfield in the house. Fairfield in the house.
We are always.
Yeah, Fairfield in the house.
Did you see my Segway man and doing that?
I like how you did that.
Like that.
I like how you did that, man. But it's good.
This episode, this is episode 26.
And I have no cards.
Of the Real Spill Podcast.
All my cards in there. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go off the dome.
You gonna go off the dome?
I'm gonna go raw.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
All
raw.
right.
Yeah.
Episode 26.
No,
Real Spill Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Watch your mouth.
That's right.
Watch what you say.
Yeah, watch what you say.
And
watch what you don't say.
And watch what you don't say.
Yeah, go both ways.
But I'm telling you, man, we're so excited.
Yeah.
This is our second episode in the year 2024. And, our first guest. Dr. Latoya Melton.
Okay, right.
That was our first guest in 2024.
Right.
And today, man, it just keeps elevating.
It does.
It just keeps elevating. So we have, I'm just going to call her Sister Joey. All right. That's with us today.
I was going to put doctor on there.
You going to put doctor
on there? Yeah. Why not?
Dr. Joey, yeah.
She might decide to be one.
Make sure you do the work.
Okay. You're right.
Make sure you do the work.
You're right.
Just like we did for Dr. Latoya. We spoke it in faith.
Right.
It's watch your mouth.
See that? She on fire.
Y'all better jump on board this and come on with us.
We're going to bring y'all along.
So, Dr. Joey, who is a life coach and a professional therapist.
Yes.
She is a product of the Fairfield Preparatory high school.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah, that's Purple Tiger. Aren't they Purple Tigers?
Oh, okay. Let's take that. Yeah, Purple Tiger, Jim. Yeah. All of us Purple Tigers.
All those Purple Tigers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I like that.
She also attended the University of Alabama,
Yeah.
A&M, Alabama A&M University.
The Alabama A&M
The
University.
Alabama A&M. Up on the hill.
Shout out to the hill.
Shout out to the hill.
I have a lot of fun memories.
Yeah.
Right, very sure.
The Alabama.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Huntsville. Yeah.
Good
The
times,
Alabama.
good times.
And those are the Bulldogs, right?
Yeah.
And also the University of Connecticut.
Now that's what I'm
The
that's
Yukon Huskies.
Go Huskies.
I would like to know how did that happen? Or is that a long story? You won't get all that?
No, it's not a long story.
Okay.
So at the time, I was planning on pursuing law and social work, and they came and spoke to my class well at A&M, and I thought I was going somewhere else,
Right.
and then they offered me a full ride, and
Oh wow.
yeah, so
Oh, you
I
can't beat
just
that.
I got on
No.
the plane and went to Connecticut.
Oh man, that's amazing. Right?
It is.
That's a blessing.
Right.
Right.
So
You
everybody,
smart,
welcome our guest, Dr. Joey. Yay! We're so glad to have her and everything with us today and everything.
Yeah.
But this episode is talking about watch your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Is what we say,
Mm-hmm.
is that important? And does it, make a difference in what we're doing? So what I would need you to do now, if you're watching us, you need to hit that like button.
Mm-hmm.
You need to hit that share button and subscribe. Call your friends and tell them that the Real Spill podcast is on right now, live on Facebook.
Yes, it is.
All right. So, Dr. Joey, is there anything that you want us to know about you? I just noticed your shirt says "Shine, Be the Light."
Yes.
I like
So
that.
this is actually not my brand. This is the brand of my website creator. She does some of my flyers. Her name is Star. Let me see if I can shout her out and pull up. Do I have time for that?
Oh, yeah, do. Go
Okay.
ahead.
It's the Real
Since
Spill.
you brought up the T-shirt.
Yeah. You can shout out anybody you want to.
Yeah.
So on
Shout
Facebook,
out
she
to
is
Star.
Star Chantel, and her brand is let's see, hold on, I want to get it right. Star Creative Company.
Okay.
Star Creative Company.
So
You can find her on Facebook
Facebook.
and Instagram. Star Creative
Instagram.
Company. And so this is her her brand. She makes T-shirts, shirts, in addition to serving as a graphic specialist with
Okay.
websites and other
just
designs.
do all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Okay.
Oh,
We might need to get in touch with her.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
All right. Shine.
Mm-hmm.
Be the light.
Yes.
Right.
So, as a life coach, Dr. Joy, what is a life coach?
So, can I just go ahead and tell you what the difference between a life coach and a therapist is?
Sure.
That would be easier.
Yeah.
So the difference between a life coach and a therapist is that a life coach specializes in helping clients focus on achievements and goals, just simply put. A therapist or psychotherapist is someone who focuses on mental health. So those things that are negatively impacting where they're trying to go. So creating barriers,
Right.
those life circumstances that have created barriers to their wellness. And so that's what I do, the best of both worlds. A lot of times I merge the two with therapeutic coaching. So I provide therapy, but also a touch of coaching in that. And when I'm coaching, that's strictly coaching. But with therapy, I have the pleasure of mixing the two worlds.
Okay.
So, it's being a therapist to try to change my attitude, and a life coach is more trying to elevate my attitude.
Correct. Correct. And also the therapy part, I'm helping clients deal with whatever has been holding them back. So those cognitive distortions that lead them to believe that they can't overcome what they've been through, or they don't know how to overcome what they've been through, and they don't know how to elevate to get to where they desire to be, or even figure out where it is that they want to be.
Okay. Because last week, Dr. LaToya Melton was here, and she talked about balance, boundaries, and the beauty of it, of elevating. So if you had to put your what you do into a sound bite, how would you do that? And I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that, but
say it one more time.
hers was that it was balance, and you have to have balance, and then you have to have boundaries, and then you have to see the beauty of it, of elevating.
I don't even know how to answer that. That's a good question. So when oh, you got me stumped with that, I think.
No. So if I was to come to you and I needed some confidence. I feel that I can do this.
Oh, okay.
But I need some confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what I do with my clients is, so I ask them, how do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? And it's one thing for us to kind of talk about it, which confuses us because our brains are so clouded.
Right.
So I have them write it down. Write down everything that you think of yourself. Okay? They write it down. Good, bad, ugly. Then I ask them, for each one that you've identified, what is the evidence of this? What is the evidence? If you think that you aren't smart, what is the evidence that you aren't smart? If you think that you will never make it in life, what is the evidence of that?
Okay.
I like it.
Because a lot of times, what they believe, there's no evidence to back that up.
Right.
Especially when it's negative.
Right.
There's no evidence of that.
There's no evidence of it.
So I had a client who recently told me that she doesn't think she's smart, but she has this thought, and she perceives herself in this way as a result of her childhood trauma and what she was taught by, what she was led to believe by her family.
Right.
Well, what's the evidence of that?
Okay.
It didn't align.
Right.
Because she's currently pursuing her bachelor's degree. So if you weren't smart, how were you accepted into this institution and pursuing your degree and getting close to graduating?
Exactly.
So it doesn't align.
It doesn't align. So in what you just said, that it doesn't align and there's no evidence, how can, and with this, what you say out of your mouth, how important is it for us to speak positively, but also for it to not be a fantasy, but it to have evidence?
Oh, it's absolutely important. That's what takes us from how we once saw ourselves to how we're supposed to see ourselves and how we now see ourselves moving into the future. In order for us to see ourselves in the way that we are supposed to, we have to, again, what is that evidence? And then we have to write down those thoughts, those facts that combat that negative thought that we had that was false in the first place.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so I tell my clients all the time, this is not just a one-time thing. You have to actively practice this. You have to write these things out loud, write these things daily. And not only do you write them daily, but you have to speak them out loud. There's no power in silence at all. There's no power in silently thinking anything. Because you have to think, your brain is so clouded by negative things, negative thoughts, negative words, negative events in your life, that it's hard. I've had clients tell me it feels like I have like 50,000 negative thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
Well, if you say just one time, oh, you know what, I am great. How believable is that when you have all of these negative thoughts in your mind, right? But if you take time to actually write that out, I have overwhelming victory. I speak life, not if you write those daily at some point, and not only write them, but you have to speak them out loud. Eventually, that darkness is going to be penetrated by that light, those positive thoughts, those positive words that you're speaking, little by little, until eventually the darkness, the light overpowers the darkness.
Right. I like it.
Okay. That's great. So, me speaking it versus me thinking it, is that what gives power to it? Me speaking it and writing it?
And writing it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because what happens is you're training your brain. You're training your brain to think about these things. That when I'm having these negative thoughts, eventually, as you begin to speak and consistently speak, you're going to find yourself in situations where instead of you thinking, or even when you do think I'm stupid, you're going to come right back and say, I am great. I am smart. I am intelligent before you even realize it.
Okay.
Because now it has become a habit without you realizing that.
Okay.
It has become a habit.
Yeah.
And it has seeped into your mind, heart, and spirit without even knowing that is making that great of an impact in your life.
Second nature to you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an importance that, and you just said something about us being trichotomy.
Big word.
Yeah, it was. I mean, 3 in 1.
I'm sorry.
You okay? All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm not getting like
You remember it used to be they used to have 3 in 1 oil?
Yeah, oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So it takes care of 3 different things.
I like that. I like that title. Yeah.
But so it's important that what we say, not only does it comes out vocally, but it also goes in inwardly.
Absolutely. Mind, heart, and spirit.
In mind, heart, and spirit.
Absolutely.
You know, and so
Yeah, because when you're speaking out loud, you're hearing yourself.
you're hearing
Right.
yourself.
Which one you're gonna absorb what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I have this that I say that a dream that is written down becomes a plan. A plan that is implemented becomes a goal. A goal that is achieved is victory. So I can have a dream of something, but until I follow those steps, and I guess I could add in there writing it down and speaking it, that this is my goal, that I'm going to do this and everything. So my question is, and we see that that's important, how does it negatively affect us when we speak opposite of that?
Oh, we begin to sit in the very thing that that is death. We sit in death. Like there's no life, there's no power. You're just in this dark place.
Wow.
You're in this dark place, and when you're in a dark place, there's nothing for you to do. You're not motivated to do anything. You're not motivated because you don't see anything. You don't see any opportunities. You don't see any reasons as to why you should do a thing that is going to put you in the next bracket of life. You can't wrap your mind around that. You can't comprehend or even see the vision because you're in this dark place.
So you can't see past the darkness.
You can't see past the darkness. There's no light that penetrates that darkness.
Oh, okay.
So let me ask you this then. So being that we're talking about watch your mouth. When you see people who came from an environment, their childhood, for example, and the parents didn't speak life into them growing up, they kind of were negative or always putting them down or, talking bad about them or whatever. And you see that in their adult life. I mean, so that you really believe that affects people, as they grow up, not having that reinforcement, somebody not speaking positive energy into them?
Oh, absolutely.
So it starts at an early age, basically.
It starts at an early age.
Yeah.
It starts at an early age. And sometimes sometimes you've had a decent childhood and parents spoke life into you, but one encounter, whether it was when you were an adolescent or when you were a young adult or at any point, one encounter with a human being can change your whole view of yourself. At whatever stage in life you are.
And to piggyback on your question, I just thought about this. So is it as important that when a woman is pregnant? Because I know that
you going biblical now. You trying to be like Mary? You going? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. You went back.
Well, I just thought about that day. Sunday school lesson did tell that it'll be marrow to your bones, and it'll be health to your navel. And I know that navel connects the mother to the child, the umbilical cord. So that's a connection that's physical. So what she eats. But I was thinking maybe on a spiritual and a emotional level is what she say can also affect that child.
Absolutely, her mood, everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah.
What she does, and what she an action, how we operate is based on what we think.
Right. All right.
So it's also important for the male to also speak positive or whatever, to that female at that time.
Absolutely.
Because that's that's coming back to the female,
That,
and it's gonna
that
affect
energy,
the child.
that vibe
Yeah.
is connected to that baby, that growth,
Yeah. So it's gonna affect that child.
that birth,
Yeah.
right?
Now, I got another question.
Yes, sir.
You have a question? I want to jump in? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Can I
Yeah.
say
No, I
one
just
more
cut
thing?
you
off.
Going
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
your question.
Uh-huh.
So when we talk about the upbringing,
Right.
and parents or guardians speaking life into their children, you can correct a child because they need that, right?
Right.
You can call out the things that they may not be doing at their best,
Right.
right?
Right.
That they're operating in this capacity when they have the ability to operate in a larger capacity, right?
Right.
So we can call those things out in a way that lets them know, hey, you can do better than that.
Right.
You're greater than this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I believe
So
it.
it's not that, I'm telling them that this is not right or that, but it's you can acknowledge that, but you also have to remind them that there's greater within them.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
So
reinforce it.
even when what they may consider as something negative, you have to reinforce it with positive.
Right,
Mhm.
right. Letting them know that I'm
Yeah.
I'm acknowledging this
Yes.
because there's greater within you. You can do better than this.
Right.
Not that you have to be perfect, by
Right.
no means, because none of us are perfect.
Right.
Right.
But it is my job as your parent, it is my job as your loved one, it is my job as a village member to pour into you and stretch you so that you can be
Right.
at your best.
Right.
Yeah. And that's how I was when I grew up with big feet, and so my mom used to tell me you don't have big feet, all right.
Right.
What you have a fast feet, and it gets you places faster than everybody else.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
she's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't believe her,
You didn't.
but I appreciated her though.
But it did
She
get down
said,
inside of
She
you.
said in life,
Yeah.
you would have to take half the steps that everybody else would have to take. God gave you big feet,
Wow.
so you won't have to travel as far as everyone else.
She was-
Oh, she's
man.
so sweet.
Yeah, yeah, I
was
appreciate
something
it. I
else.
appreciate it. It was,
Wow.
and when the kids were cracking on me and stuff,
Right,
I
you
heard
said,
my
no.
mom's voice.
You heard her voice.
Yeah. I mean, I cried in the bathroom.
Right.
But when I was looking at them when they were cracking on me, I stood strong.
You
I
stood
did not
strong.
know that. Yeah. But my bad. I had a question though. So okay, we talked about children and growing up in a family dynamic and how powerful it is speaking life into them. But I'm sure you have dealt with adults that have relationship issues, maybe, right?
Oh,
I don't know whether it was marriages, long-term relationships, or just maybe family relationships.
All relationships.
All relationships,
Uh-huh.
right? So let's just say, as far as being in a relationship, dating someone or being married to someone, how important is that to speak life into one another? I mean, because sometimes when you're dating somebody or you've been with somebody for a long time, you can kind of go at each other sometimes, and the words you're saying to each other kind of stick.
Right.
That person might remember what you were saying in that moment, even though it might have not really, in the heat of the moment you really didn't mean it,
Right.
but
But you said it.
right, you
Exactly.
said it. So, I mean, how powerful do you think in relationships to reinforce that you care about that person, that they can accomplish certain things, just be there for each other, support each other
Right.
with words.
Very important. There's really no difference. Like
Right.
what you say can either elevate a relationship, how you operate, how you treat someone.
Right.
Your mentality can either elevate that person in that relationship, or it can cause it to die.
Right.
It can cause it to die.
Mhm.
And also, when you think about what you're pouring into another person, a friendship, an intimate partner, a romantic relationship, whatever you want to call it, what is it? What is your end goal? Because if you want a healthy and strong relationship, that's not just the foundation is how this person, how this other person sees and views themselves,
Right.
how
right.
they feel about themselves. Because there's so many times
Excuse me.
where people are in relationships,
Mhm.
and no matter how you try to pour into them, if they're not or if you're not consistent for one, and if they don't have a great foundation personally, you can't thrive in that relationship. Because it's like you're trying to feed somebody, pour into somebody, and it's
They
going
won't
nowhere.
receive it. Yeah, they won't receive
They're
it.
they're not in position to receive it.
Right. That's deep. That's deep. So, I mean, okay, so let's say you are in a relationship. Let's say you have a client or someone you're helping, and they're dealing with someone like that. The person is a good person overall, but just you know, like you said, they just kind of, they don't really, you know, they struggle in life, you know, as far as getting motivated, accomplishing goals, you know, they kind of just drifting in life. And their significant other is trying to speak life into them, but they just not receiving it. I mean,
it's almost a waste of time sometimes.
oh wow. So
It
you gotta
is.
cut them off.
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like you are exerting all this energy to pour into somebody, but what are they doing for themselves?
Right. I get you. And you're draining yourself in the process.
You're draining yourself.
Yeah.
So it's one thing when you have somebody who is doing the work for themselves, and you're doing the work for them and for yourself, right?
Right.
But when it's just one-sided, how are you benefiting?
Oh yeah.
How is the relationship benefiting?
That sounds like some gym.
How is the relationship growing?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's right. How that sound like some Gemini?
I
No.
said it. Yeah. I'm sorry.
like
I
no
know.
Gemini.
You're in Gemini.
I'm Scorpio.
Okay. I don't know. Is that good or bad? We'll talk about that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't know if that's good or bad.
So,
Yeah.
And we're on Meta right now, so you know we use Meta. You know, it's a vital part in this new millennium or this new generation that we're in.
Yes, it is.
But how important is it? How important should it be? How does it shape how we think? Which means how we think is what we're gonna say. And the question that I'm thinking about is and we talked about this earlier about certain music being played in certain places and all of this kind of stuff. But how important is music in molding us? Because normally what we hear, then we repeat. And I'm thinking about young people now. How important is that?
I mean, again, as a professional, I view everything as life and death. So even when we're not talking about, oh, I'm suicidal, or, you know, it's not that type of thing, even though that is a thing sometimes, but it's more so like either you are going to put yourself in position to live, or you're going to put yourself in position to die. And not, when I say die, just not living the way that you're intended to. It was intended for you to live.
Right.
So you're wasting time, you're wasting energy, you're wasting the gift of life that has been given to you. So when we talk about music and how it impacts us, you know, if we're listening to music that constantly refers to women as derogatory names.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes, derogatory names.
You can curse too.
Then,
yeah, it looks like she wanted to say curse.
derogatory names, then.
She would be the first.
Then.
No.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't like to call nobody out, but somebody
has
over in this area
crossed the road, crossed the line.
Yeah. We had a couple of people, but yes, you know, she was the first to break it in. Yeah, we don't want y'all to think that, you know, you can't be yourself on the real
Right,
spiel.
it is the real spiel.
It is the real spiel.
Yeah, so we want you to.
Yeah.
We're sorry. We
No,
cut
you're
you
fine,
off.
you're fine.
Yeah.
But if you are listening to music that refers to women by derogatory names, then as a man, then at some point you're going to think or question whether or not that's actually okay. And as a woman or a young lady or a girl, you're going to think it's okay for me to refer to myself as that, and for men, other people to refer to me as that.
So what we hear can affect what we say.
Absolutely. Just going back to my client, it wasn't music, but it was somebody in her life. So a lot of people value the people behind the TV or on the radio.
On
right?
Instagram, social
On
media.
Instagram, Facebook, all of that.
Right.
They, all these platforms, they value them, and sometimes they view them as an idol, right? So the influence is major.
Okay.
The influence is major.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like I have a real relationship with you, even though I've never met you and I probably never will.
Yeah, I was about
Right?
to say that.
But the influence the impact is so great
Right.
that now I believe every word you say. You say you do this. You say it's supposed to go like this. You say I'm supposed to speak like this. This is what it is.
Well, you read my notes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't even have to have your car.
No,
Yeah.
But no, that's what I'm saying. But we say that all the time.
We
though.
say that all the time.
Yeah, we talk about how powerful social media is.
how powerful it is.
Yeah,
Right.
rap
Right.
music as well too, though. But
And, and music.
Right. And just think about even without music, even without videos, just a visual. Somebody posting a picture.
Right.
Somebody posting a picture
in a certain outfit.
in a certain
Yeah,
outfit doing a certain thing.
Right.
That's now I want that to be my life because that's what everybody says.
Yeah, I want to be
it's
just
supposed
like
to be.
that.
I want my life to look just like this. I want this very thing to consume and fill my life.
I guess that's the definition of an idol.
Well, that's why they call influencers.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to be
and
just
like I
like
said,
that.
but you know, like I said, I'm not saying that. You know, I use the term capping a lot.
Right.
I don't know these people. Everybody may not be capping on them, but
Right.
you know,
But
like you
it's-
said though, yeah, they're putting out these images.
That's
a lot of
not
them are false
real to
images,
life.
right?
Yeah.
And they're making you think they're living their best life.
Right, when
And-
they actually on a pile of sand in a corner somewhere and they acting like they're on the beach, right?
The sand across the
Right.
playground.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The car is not really a real car. It's the camera
Yeah.
angle. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I mean, and like I said, you know, it can be good in some ways, it can be bad, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I get exactly.
But can we blame them because what they're trying to do is present an image?
It depends on what kind of image you present, though.
Why can't we blame them?
Oh.
All right, that's what I'm trying to
Okay.
I
say.
mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody has a choice, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You choose to do good and you choose to feed positive energy into people, or you choose to not do that and to feed people lies, deceit, and toxicity and chaos and conflict and discord and all of that.
But on
that's
the
a
other
choice.
side of the camera,
Mm-hmm.
they're saying that you're supposed to be intelligent enough to know that this is not real.
But how do you know?
But how do you
I'm
do you
just
tell that to a
for the
9-year-old?
sake of
Right.
argument.
How
I'm
do
for
you-
the sake because
How
that's
do you
what
tell
they're
that
saying.
to a 9-year-old?
Exactly.
What 9-year-old has the capacity to
Right.
be able, the
To-
brain capacity to be able to decipher and determine what is false and what is true
Right.
when it comes to an image that's being presented to them,
So that leads to
Yeah.
my next question.
especially when their life didn't look like that.
Should there be parental control?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
that's what we're lacking.
that's what we're lacking. Yeah, parental control.
That's what we're lacking.
Okay.
Okay.
So you think that maybe a lot of the ills in our social life are because nobody has been trained?
That's a big one,
I know.
To some, and to be fair, some have not been trained.
Okay.
Some have a foundation, yet they chose to do
Right.
and
That's a
operate
key word right
in
there.
in another realm.
And right. So it's a choice that
It's
we
a
have to
choice.
make. You know. So
Now, some people again don't know because great grandma did this, grandma did this, mama do this, and now I'm being raised to do this and function this way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a history, it's a pattern. But then some people have the foundation, yet they, for whatever reason, whether it's a situation that has happened in life and trauma as a result, or whatever, they have chosen to do the very opposite of the foundation that was laid for them.
So what's the most important institution in our community?
Social media. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
That's the most valued.
It is the most valued. But
Well, I
what's the
mean,
most
it got to be the home.
to
It
change
gotta be the
our
home.
way of speaking and to change, which will make our thinking change, which will make our action change. Well, it's
It's
it's not a
communities.
community, but I guess it's family.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that's
the most important thing because that's where we get our first training from.
Right, but in order for, but that goes back to what I just said
If it hadn't,
about
if it's
if the
generational,
foundation's not there,
Right.
then how can you expect the family
yeah,
to shape
yeah.
in a positive way,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So therefore, it takes the community to
So
come
it's a
in
village.
and pour into these families
Right.
and say, "Hey, young man, hey, little girl, there's a different way of living. There's more to life than just
Twerking.
right. There's more to life than
Yeah.
you know what you see in front of you.
So, and I'm leading to this question, and I've been trying to get to this one all night.
Go ahead.
So now in our society, there are words, and I'm gonna assume, I know I'm the oldest person in the room, but I'm gonna assume that all of y'all, that there used to be words that we thought were derogatory, but they've been flipped now, and you calling women names. It's an F word that starts with an F. That we made that as a term of endearment now. You know, instead of saying.
You talking about fragile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Frappe.
Yeah.
Well, that's
okay.
a P, ain't it? But anyway, and what I mean by that is people would say, "Hey man, I mess with you, I'm a friend with you," but now they put the other word in there. Yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying, so you know, one about to be confused, but no, I know what you mean.
The F bomb.
Yeah. No, I'm just with it.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. But yeah, you are setting up a question I had for you. Did you finish it?
No, my question was that how, because society is starting to accept that. You know, how is that moving us more into degradation?
Oh man, whew, that's
Is that the start of it? Because now we're using words that are derogatory, that we saw as derogatory, but now they are terms of endearment.
Right.
How is that affecting us? Or do you think it affects us at all?
Yeah, I think it does affect, like everything impacts us. Everything affects us. Everything.
Give us some examples of everything.
I mean, just life. This happens, and then it has the potential to impact us either positively or negatively. So there's an impact, regardless. It's just a matter of whether or not it's positive or whether or not it's negative. But when we talk about just word choices and how we view things, it still doesn't make it right. We've changed it to a term of endearment, but doesn't mean that it lessens its negative impact. Does that make sense what I said?
No, yeah, no, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what she's saying is like the smallest thing can affect someone else in a big way.
Right.
Where it might just roll off of you.
Right.
You know, so everybody built different. But like she said, it's all depending on, you know, your mental state, you know, how you look at yourself, as she was saying earlier.
Right, the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation, right.
All of that.
But how is that affecting us in society, though? Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, well, basically, when you were saying certain terms,
right,
and I think me and her had discussed it before one time, I was saying, okay, when young men hear women having conversations with each other and calling each other the B word or H you crazy or whatever, and you know they just being funny or joking or whatever. But young men may hear that and think, oh, it's okay for me to call women that.
Yeah.
She don't accept that.
Why should not? Yeah. Why she just referred to herself as that?
Right.
Oh, even as far as culture is concerned and race is concerned, the N word.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the N word is probably the oldest. In a lot of ways, but yeah. And so now this young man calls a woman that, not really meaning any harm, but just thinking it's okay to say that, and now she's impacted by it in a negative way, and it scars her. You see what I'm saying? So you know, it's a trickle-down effect.
Or going back to y'all's question, somebody's question, or it could be a term used out of habit, because now I've heard it so many times.
Well, yeah.
This has been what I'm exposed to. I've heard it so many times. Now it just naturally flows from me.
Right. And somebody else looking like, no, that didn't bother you what he said to you. You're like, no.
And in every instance, even in culturally, with the N word, or with a woman calling her to be, you might say that because you've gotten used to it, to a woman that's not going to take offense to it.
Right, exactly. And you might get your head bust.
And you might get your head bust, and everything. So it seems, but so it hasn't, it has, I think all of the effect is negative, you know, because the word actually is a degrading word, even though we say it in fun sometimes. We say it in joking. And that's, you know, I'm picking back on these questions and everything, but sometimes in serious situations, people can start joking about something to try to make it light.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a helpful thing, or can that be a hurtful thing?
It can be hurtful. It can be hurtful because at the end of the day, it's still negative. It's still negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's still negative. Give an example.
We're sitting here and we're having a conversation, and let's just say two of y'all are sensitive.
You talking about me, aren't you?
Now, see, I didn't say
You talking
who.
about me? See, get it.
I didn't say
sensitive.
who.
Get it. That's the joke. Sensitive, man.
Okay, sensitive.
Yeah.
And so I say something that will make that person feel some kind of way.
Right,
you
right.
know. And I'm saying it as a joke, but I'm actually knowing that person is sensitive to it.
Yeah, you just being mean.
And I'm just
Yeah, you just being
And
mean.
I guess that's what I meant by that. How can that affect? Because words do affect us.
Right. So what has just been spoken, even if that person tries to brush it off, right? This person may put on a front in front of everybody because we're not alone, right?
Right.
So you may put on a front and try to brush it off, but when you leave out of here and you're by yourself, you realize and acknowledge that it has negatively impacted you. It has hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Right.
And now you're crying at
And
the rail.
so, right. Or you're constantly,
Or
that's
the anger
very,
comes.
or the anger, or
Yeah.
that's the very thing that drives you to not be able to go to sleep at night because that's what you hear. That's the
Right.
last thing you heard.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it stung.
And it's dumb.
Especially if it's from somebody that you hold a value.
Right.
Somebody you respect.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. That's deep.
Or if it has happened to you before, and now here's another person who's doing the same thing or saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this friend that needs to hear the truth.
Ooh. Man, that's tough right there.
Yeah, I have this friend that needs to hear the truth.
You recommend
I need to
yeah. You handle one of her calls. We're like,
Hey, go talk to
what is
Dr.
it about?
Joey.
Just call her.
Yeah, just call her and talk to
just
her
see
and
what happens.
everything.
Yeah, just see what happens. Yeah, that's what you do. That's how you do it.
And it affects our relationship.
But what is the truth? Is the truth helpful, or is it what is the truth?
Well, the truth would be helpful. Let's just say they have a habit that annoys everybody, but nobody tells them.
Okay.
So, as a friend,
You
should
really are calling me out today, man. Like, what is going on? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I never called you out in public, and every time that I thought that you was off track, I pulled
Yeah,
you
you
to
said
the side
something.
and
Yeah, I
say,
always
"Come here,
said-
man. Let me talk to you."
Yeah, you definitely check me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, but I'll give you that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So do I not say something? Because we're talking about what comes out of our mouth.
No, you have an obligation to say something. If you care about that person and it's supposed to make them better.
What if it hurt our relationship?
Well, that's a them thing because you've done your job by pouring into them to try to make them better. So that's not a you issue. That's a them issue.
That's a them issue. But I don't want to hurt our relationship.
Oh, well then you have two choices. Either you deal with whatever it is that is annoying them, that's not necessarily healthy for them,
Right.
or you do what's challenging and difficult by speaking up while also speaking life into this person. And if they are not in position to receive it, then again, that's a him or her issue, not a you issue.
So I don't have to feel any guilt behind that, is what you're telling
As
me.
long as you've spoken the truth in love, you shouldn't have guilt.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we added something to this.
Truth and love.
Truth and love.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I have to do it
Right.
in truth and in
Now,
love.
if you're saying something and being ugly, that's one thing, because
Right.
nobody can receive something in a healthy way if you're being ugly,
Right.
Right.
But if you're speaking the truth in love and saying, hey, everybody notices that you're doing this, and you, for example, people who apologize for no reason, annoying, right? Constantly apologizing. Hey, we've noticed that you are constantly apologizing. you don't have to do that. There's nothing to apologize for.
There's
There's nothing to apologize for.
It's hard, Ted. It's hard, man.
I always want to ask you to stand up so I can lay down on the couch.
Yeah.
There's nothing to apologize for.
Okay.
Now, that to me, that's speaking the truth in love. I'm speaking the truth, but I'm
Right.
also being loving while I'm doing that.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that this person is going to receive what I say, no matter how sweet I am when I say it.
Right.
Okay.
Because they may still take offense to it. But
Right.
again, that's not my problem. I've done my part because as a friend, as a loved one, as a member of their village, I have poured into them to help them to become better. It's up to them what they do with that.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's not my responsibility
Right.
to babysit how they internalize it.
Right.
See?
But I'm
Oh, yeah, you like that, though. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She definitely.
Yeah,
You so
I did my
nice.
part.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got like three questions,
People are
three-part
like,
questions.
yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna go in reverse.
Hold up. This
Yeah.
is the Real Spill
Oh, yeah,
Podcast,
sorry.
man. I know y'all just saying, who are those folks? It's the
Yeah.
Real Spill Podcast.
Yeah.
We come to you live from the Spill Cup Studio.
Mhm.
This is episode 26.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Yes, sir.
And we are live here with Dr.
Mm.
Joey, life
Yeah.
coach,
Yes,
professional therapist.
yes,
And she's talking about watch your mouth
yes,
and what
yes.
comes out of it. Come on, man.
Great conversation.
Yeah,
Okay,
great
so I'm gonna try to run through them. So one question I have is, well, like you were just saying, when you do try to tell somebody, you know, when you see that they're doing something that I don't want to say annoys you, but it's not beneficial to them either. All right, so you feel like, okay, let me say something to them. The words that you say to them, I mean, let's say you have some people who just speak their mind. And they just, you know, they mean well, but it came out raw and straight and, you know, hit you right in the mouth.
Right.
So, I mean, are there different ways of telling people? Like, do sometimes you have to be a little tougher with some words depending on the situation? Or do you feel like it's always best to go with a softer, gentle, you know, caring approach? Or sometimes do you just need to be like, hey, you messing up, like, you know what I'm saying? Or,
So, but that even when you say you messing up, that still doesn't mean you're not speaking the truth in love.
Right.
It doesn't mean that.
Right.
Because in my sessions, my clients know that I'm sweet as pie, but I'm also not here to play with you.
Mhm.
So
Right.
they notice a difference in my tone, but not once. Well, I'm not going to say not once. Rarely do they take offense to what I say because they know where I'm coming from.
Okay.
They know the heart that comes with it.
So you have to establish that, though.
Yeah, that's
You can't just come
That's
out and get like
relational,
that.
right?
Right.
Well, and it's also, again, how you say something.
Right, and that's my point. That's what I was trying to get
Yeah,
to.
it's also how you say something. So now you just can't be walking up to people just being extremely harsh and just straight blunt. Because
Because you know I got some co-workers.
But some people are that way.
Some people are that
right,
way.
and they're just naturally like
Some
that.
people are that way,
Yeah.
but they're that way probably because of their history.
Mm-hmm. How
Somebody may not have been soft with them, so
Right.
they may not even know what that looks like.
Right, so all they know is just straight
Right.
shit. Yeah,
They may not know what soft or speaking the
Don't
truth
put
in
no
love
whipped
looks
cream on
like.
it,
So,
Right?
so and I heard you say
What it
that, you
sounds
know,
like.
and I believe you when you say you sweet as pie, but you also,
But she'll slap you. That's what she
yeah,
said.
that's what basically what she
I
was saying.
called it.
And
I
actually,
don't
what,
slap my clients. I don't slap my clients.
actually, what she was saying was the fair field will come out.
Yeah.
The perfect
Saying.
tiger come out.
Yeah, that'll come out of and everything. But so do I need to, sprinkle, a little love on it when I'm saying it? You know,
Yeah.
I'm saying it tough, but do I need to have compassion when I'm saying it? I just need to be raw, and this is it, and this is how you need to be. Cause you hear people a lot of times say, "That's just me."
Mm.
But when they
Which I
say
think
that's
is-
just
they can
me,
make an excuse
they
for
hadn't
that.
thought about who they talking
Right.
to
Right.
Right.
and how it's being presented
So
to
when
them.
they say that's just me, it's bigger than you.
Yes.
It's bigger than you. So yeah, that may be you, but at what point are you going to consider someone else?
That's almost toxic, like, in a sense, right?
Right.
Well,
that is toxic.
Yeah.
okay, I was
If
gonna say that
if
sounds
if
toxic.
you're not in position to reevaluate some things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess what I'm saying
And then
is,
as a result, it
Yeah,
becomes
you're
it becomes unhelpful. It's not helpful.
Right. 'Cause, yeah, you just basically attacking it in a sense. Or you just spitting negative
And,
into
and
it.
they're not even in position to receive. Now, some people are not in position to receive regardless because of the type of person that they are. But then some people aren't in position to receive because of our delivery.
That's what I'm saying. It's all in the delivery.
So, Dr. Joy, how do we have a relationship in a conversation that it might be something that this person needs to hear, and we're trying to, we said, well, I'm not gonna put on no kid's glove. They need to hear this. So how do we? What is the thing that helps that to break that ice?
So this is one thing that we as people don't talk about. We don't talk about expectations when it comes to relationships.
Okay.
So if I'm your friend,
Right.
or if I'm your family member, or if I'm, whatever relationship we have, your coworker, like what does that mean? What, like, even if we're coworkers, what is the foundation of that? Like, how are we operating? Because if it's just like, oh, I need you to complete this assignment so we can get the job done, then that's what it is. But you need to understand, regardless of what capacity I'm in, my job is to help you regardless.
Right.
No matter where I am, no matter what the relationship is, no matter what I'm doing, my goal is to always try to help myself to become better while also helping somebody else to become better.
Right. I like that. That's what it's all about, man. That's all about. Yeah.
So
we gotta make everybody better. And why help
so our
ourselves.
relationships, we don't have any expectations in them.
We don't have we have unspoken expectations.
Unspoken
So what you think coming into this relationship and what you think coming into this relationship is all in your head. We haven't talked about nothing.
So it's communication.
It's communication. We haven't talked about anything.
Communication is
So
key.
we deal with unspoken expectations and outdated expectations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unspoken and outdated.
Yes. So outdated means that at one point in one season of our life, we've come to some kind of understanding agreement on this is how we're going to operate, right?
Right.
But who we were in this season is not who we are in this next season. And so we have carried these old, outdated expectations into this new realm of life, and we are dysfunctional.
Right. So we need to come back to the table.
We need to come back to the drawing board
Okay.
and talk about it.
Yeah.
And figure out what we're doing and how we're operating and what the expectations are for one another.
Right. I like that.
So, and I'm assuming, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I think you're married, right? So, being a professional, how do you bridge the gap between being this life coach, professional therapist, and a wife, like a mother, wife, mother, you have a husband, how do you bridge that gap?
Oh, it's hard in real life.
Right.
It's hard in real life.
It's the real spill, y'all.
It's hard. I mean,
Okay.
I can't sugarcoat it. It's hard in real life, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easy to tell somebody. Now, everybody can't be a therapist. Everybody can't be a life coach. But the truth is, even in your friendships, it's easier to look at somebody else's situation and say, "Hey, do this." Right?
The grass
Do
is
this.
always,
Right.
greener on the other
Right.
side. Yeah.
But when it's actually
Yours.
having to implement the very thing that you teach, it requires some stretching,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It requires being intentional.
Right.
It requires being honest with yourself, like, oh, this is an area that I need to work on, even as a professional.
Right.
And as a result, I have to do the work.
So
Just like I tell my clients to do the work.
right. So at the end of the day, after talking, communicating, expressing your thoughts and feelings, action still is the big key. I mean, actions speak louder than words at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So you got to put the action behind all the
Absolutely.
talking. and
You have
stuff.
to do the work.
Right. Okay. So basically, at the end of the day, you can give them all the great advice in the world, but if they're
If
not
you're
willing
not
to do
doing
the
the
work,
If you don't,
right? It's pointless.
Right. You're not producing anything.
See,
No.
faith is faith,
Yeah.
and you can have all the faith in the world,
But action.
but if you don't never apply it
Yeah.
and believe it and apply it, just made you a library. You just got information. And so until you put it in action.
Right.
How tough is that though? Crossing over from the professional life to the home life. How is that tough, or is that easy to communicate that?
Or was everybody just scared of your home? You don't even try it. You don't even try it.
Wait a minute.
Whatever
Who this year right there?
They probably make eye
I
contact.
have a husband who tells me all the time. He says, "Okay, put your professional hat on. What would the professional Joey do or say?"
I got you. Okay.
What would the professional Joey do or say?
It's a brave man.
I think that's a good one. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to my husband.
Yeah, shout out to our husband, man. That's a great man right there.
Yeah, stay strong.
Because really, I just a lot of times we'll get caught up in our egos and everything, as men, and everything. But inside of the relationship, we need. I think that a man that cannot learn something from a woman inside a relationship. I ain't talking about playing. I'm talking about you're in a relationship.
Right.
If he cannot learn from her, then that's not the woman for him.
Oh no!
Right.
Say it again.
Right.
If he cannot learn from her, if he cannot in the relationship,
Right.
if he can't take instructions from her, then that's not the person for you.
Because we are wise. We are wise.
That's why.
Hey, brothers, man, that wasn't throwing y'all under the bus or anything,
No, it's
man.
just being smart, man. It's just being
But
smart.
I'm just saying that
And it's
we
real,
have to
it's
learn
real.
from each other.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that we'll see
Yeah.
that they'll never see.
I mean, but that's what relationship is all about.
That's what relationship
You
is all
strengthen
about.
each other in the areas that you're weak.
Oh man, I
You
like
know.
that.
And
Yeah.
the things that y'all
That
don't
was very
see, we see.
profound. Yeah.
Okay, now that sounds like a shot right there towards me.
I'm
That
just
sound-
saying.
That sounds like a shot right
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
But yeah, I get it.
But that's in a good way, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can the men see things in the women sometimes?
Well, yeah, you'll
Just
see
like that?
things.
Well, no. I wasn't necessarily talking about it within the person, just
Right,
the
you're just
situation.
saying-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the
Oh, I thought you were talking about the men
Yeah,
saying,
no.
yeah. I mean, I know y'all smarter than us. I'm just saying, like, you
No.
gotta say it like that. Okay, I got you.
Y'all can see things in us, we can see things in y'all, but as far as the situation, we see things that y'all don't. As
So-
far as
Right,
situations,
yeah, right,
we see
right,
things
right,
that y'all
right.
can't see.
And I just keep using you as an example because you are a professional, and you in your domestic life. Is it important how you say what you say to your spouse?
Oh, absolutely. Now, again, you can't necessarily always be responsible for how they receive it, right?
Right.
That's something outside of your control.
Right.
But it is important for you to put forth a genuine effort to speak in a way that's life promoting, right? That encourages healthy communication.
Well, let me ask you this then. So when you do recognize something in your partner or one of your clients or whatever, whoever you're dealing with, and you see there's an issue, it's an obvious issue,
Okay.
and you're telling them about it, and they do take offense to it. Do you feel like you need to apologize once you see they're offended, but still reinforce what you're trying to get them to overcome, or you just say, hey, it is what it is, you just leave it out there?
No, there's what I will do is try to reword it, but I'm probably not apologizing.
Okay. Because they're just kind of handicapping, I guess.
Right, because I will let them know that the point was not to offend them, but to pour into them.
Okay, I like how you did that.
Okay.
I'm gonna start saying that to the women.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't trying to
Yeah,
hurt you.
I ain't trying to talk about it. I'm trying to pour into
I'm
you.
trying to pour
Right.
into your
All right.
life, man.
Right.
You got to listen to what I'm pouring into you. You got to
Right.
receive it.
You have to receive it.
I'm trying to give you life, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it over
You're
here.
actually in darkness and you don't know it, but I'm trying to
Right.
inject life into
Right.
you.
Pour something like I got a full cup
I
of
got a
life.
full cup of it. It's overflowing. And he didn't give it all to me just for me. He told me to give something to you.
I want to share my life.
I want to
with you.
share this light so you can be light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. So
I
we
like
can
that
shine
too.
together.
Right.
Ah!
Yeah. Be the light.
You know what?
Be the light.
You are smart.
Man, I'm putting it on my Instagram.
be the light.
Be the
Yeah.
light. Be the light.
Shine, be the
Shine.
Oh, you can't do that.
No, I can't
You
do
already
that.
got them. You got
No,
them.
you gonna have somebody looking for me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I
Just be the light, man. I like that.
Yeah, okay.
Man, this has been the Real Spill Podcast, episode 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What
yes,
coming
sir.
out of your mouth?
Well, watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
I do want to ask one question too.
Yeah, go
before we
ahead,
go.
man. We got time. We got a little bit of time. Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
You know, we got to take it to the street on this one.
Okay.
So I know you probably have seen all. I'm not gonna call them by names, but some of the things that occurred last week with a certain entertainer calling people out, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So by him putting that energy out there, or people in general, not even gonna talk about him, just people in general when they talk about other people. I always say you have to be careful what you say about people because you kind of create a stage for yourself. Because you know your words are powerful and you don't know how it's going to affect them. And like I said, it may come back to bite you. So have you ever dealt with a client or people who, you know, kind of call people out, feel like they have to just put their business out there, necessarily not like being messy, but just like they see something about them that they don't agree with or don't like, and they just like, yo, I don't like when you do that, you know. Not that it's a problem necessarily, but it's just they don't like it. And they calling these people out, or they feel like they have to tell people all the time their issue they have with people.
I wouldn't say necessarily a client, but I'm sure I've dealt with somebody in life.
Right.
I'm sure I've dealt with somebody in life.
Right. So I mean, what would so let's say that someone who is a client has somebody like that in their life. What would you tell them? How to deal with
there's
that
a great book that talks about going directly to that person, right? So even if all of that stuff is true, right? Even if all of that stuff is true, at what point did you go directly to that person before you went to the world?
And it speaks to social media all over the place because you can see people having beef. With one or two people having beef, but we hear about it.
Right. They put it out there for everybody.
They put it out there for everybody by putting it on social media. You know, you fighting cause your dog jumped the fence and everything, and you know, and was over there with the other person's dog. But we don't need to know about that.
Right.
That was between you two.
And think about the impact, positive impact that could have happened, even if we weren't aware of it.
Right.
If it was just a one-on-one conversation.
Exactly.
Versus a conversation for the world.
Right, exactly. It's not, you brought all this attention to the situation.
Right, and you didn't even give the person a chance
to rebut it.
Right. Or even come to you and say, I apologize for offending you or for doing this or this, even if they knew it, right? But people, we're just selfish, right? So we can know that we've done something wrong and still won't say anything.
Right.
But that doesn't mean if I come to you and give you an opportunity that you won't stand up.
Well, right.
Right?
Because behind closed doors, one-on-one.
Right.
Yeah. I might
So
be
that would have been more impactful and life enhancing if it was a one-on-one conversation versus exposure to the whole world.
Man, I got 10,000 more questions.
Oh yeah.
This has been a great conversation, man. It's been a great sit down with Dr. Joey.
Yes.
Yay! It's spelled J-O-I,
Yeah.
but she pronounces it Joey. But I want to give you this opportunity to spotlight yourself, to your business, whatever you want to do. You know, how did I get over here with these guys? You know, whatever you want. I want to give you this opportunity, these last 2 minutes, just to talk about Dr. Joey.
Okay. Well, first I want to say thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you all for having me. And shout out to Mrs. Genesis Player for connecting us.
Right.
But just tell a little bit about me. Is that what
With your business?
About my business. Okay, so I've been in the field of social work. My background is social work. I'm a licensed independent clinical social worker, which just means that I'm licensed at the highest level in the field. I've been practicing for about 15 years. And I am a psychotherapist / mental health therapist, same thing, and a life coach. My business is Revive 323. And I specialize in women's issues, perinatal and postpartum or maternal mental health. I specialize in relationships, couples, families, life transitions and uncertainties, all of that. So that's my specialty. I do have an office here in Birmingham, Alabama. You can go to my website, revive323.com. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, facebook.com/revive3.23, as well as Instagram /revive3.23. So yeah, follow me. Again, I thank y'all.
We thank you.
Thank y'all so much. If you or someone you know is in need of support, come talk to me, come find me. You can call or text 205-202-1138. And I'm truly here to serve. I tell my clients all the time, and this is the perfect way to end this, because I tell my clients all the time, you were born to live, not just exist. And the things that we listen to, the things that we hear, the things that we digest in our mind, heart, and spirit, either promotes living or it promotes death or existing. And existing is equivalent to death, because you're not living in your full potential. You're not walking and along the path that you're destined to walk, that you were created to walk in or along. So yeah, I hope that you are living, and I hope you choose to live and not choosing to exist.
Dr. Joey! Yay!
So that ain't nothing to be a dancer. That's too late. That's too late. I like that. Yeah. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
I was speaking out loud. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I can still go skydiving.
Yeah. We gonna talk. We gonna set up a point. She think we just we
come to see her. Yeah. So I'm gonna get over this fear, man. So
Because we big on mental health. We big on
therapy.
So
Yeah, we are.
We might have to holler.
Yeah, most of our programs is about really mental health.
Yeah.
And bettering ourselves and everything. So man, this has been great, man. I hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah.
We're so happy that Dr. Joy came on with us and everything. It is the Real Spill podcast. Talent man.
And your favorite brand, Cold Steel.
Cold Steel, man. This is the challenge. Oh, I'm sorry.
We gotta do the plug for After Dark.
And don't go away. Don't go away.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Tune in for the Real Spill After Dark.
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna be on there other than me. Who else on there? Anybody else on there?
I ain't talking Coco.
Okay, well maybe Coco, myself, and Ayo. Make sure y'all tune in at 7.
Yeah. That young generation.
You don't want to hang out with her, did you? No, we'll say something, but that's cool.
But we're so happy. Challenge is, AKA, all her AKA friends. Tell, if you watch this podcast, tell your friends about it, so you can see your sister. And everything. Yeah, so you can support your sister and everything, and all of our folks that watch us. We're so happy for you watching us.
Appreciate y'all.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button,
yes,
hit that share button, man.
Yes.
We just appreciate you. We love you. This has been the Real Spill podcast.
We out.
Hey,
this is
we
our
out.
professional part.
Right.
We won't have anybody to cut it off. I had to do it.
Yeah.
See you.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did.